Stephen A. Smith let everyone know that he would have divorced Serena Williams for her performance at the NFL halftime show. While I don't need to tell you that Serena Williams is a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, I may need to let you know that Stephen A. Smith is a longtime sports commentator. When I talked about this earlier, a lot of people didn't know who he was. And while the rest of us were having a good time enjoying Kendrick's performance, Stephen wanted to let us know that if he were married to Serena Williams and she decided to participate in something that had to do with her ex, he'd tell her to go back to him. She and Alexis Ohanian have 2 children and have been married for 8 years. And Alexis, for his part, was pretty happy with the performance and posted his support. Now, Stephen himself is not married, and while 2 other men on the show thankfully did try to shut down this line of thinking, I think it's important to talk about not because I want to give Stephen a platform, but because it's indicative of problems that we're having with men commentating on women's sports. Stephen A. Smith has been involved in sports for long enough to know that this moment was not just about Drake. Not only is Serena Williams also from Compton just like Kendrick, but at the 2012 Olympics, after she won her gold medal in London, she sea-walked, and she was heavily criticized for that moment. This was also a reference back to that point of her own greatness, and a statement that aligns with the message of the song. They Not Like Us criticizes the idea of being a poser, of changing yourself from your true self to what you think is commercially viable, something that Serena Williams didn't do, and something that all these years later she's able to celebrate on one of the biggest stages in sports. See, Stephen A. Smith did what a lot of men do. He looked at this moment and he made it about another man in this woman's life. And unfortunately, we've seen men in these positions continue to be unable to speak about professional athletes when they're women as simply professional athletes. 2 other moments among many come to mind, one of which being Pat McAfee's issue with Caitlin Clark, which he did apologize for, and the other being Shaq's appearance on Angel Reese's podcast, where he continually fixated on the idea of Angel Reese wearing short shorts and dunking in order to sell tickets. There is nothing wrong with men commentating on women's sports. What is wrong is these men not being able to commentate on them respectfully. And these moments happening like this are the reason why we see young women drop out of sports, and why we see women of all ages continue to say that sports are not welcoming to them as fans. And we absolutely have to do better.